Hey everyone, my name is Kumo and this is my reaction to the 8th episode of Shoujo Shuumatsu Ryokou, or A Girl's Last Tour. So, the last episode, our girls adventured into a food production factory that Ishii pointed them in the direction to, and it was supposed to be a lot easier than it actually was. They were supposed to go through the pipe, not on top of it, but they went the hard way for a good chunk of it, and very much risked falling down into the abyss. They did have the bright idea to tie a rope to both ends of them, so if one of them fell off the other end, the other person just had to jump off the other end at the perfect timing to not die. Foolproof plan, really. And in this episode, we learned that Yuri has a very dangerous sense of humor. We kind of already knew that to an extent, but it became pretty obvious in this episode between little things like turning the on button back on when Cheeto was on the conveyor belt of death, and wanting to go an alternate route instead of just following the straight and narrow path that had the arrows pointing them into the path they should go. So yeah, if Yuri was on her own, I don't know how well she would do in this world. But, they have each other, and that is what it is. But they eventually got to their destination, found a single deformed potato, better than nothing, but certainly disappointing. They also found ingredients that allowed them to bake their own rations, which turned out better than I expected, really, considering they have no real cooking experience to my knowledge. And did they have a recipe to go off of? I don't think they did. But what they did make was, that was edible, and they also had some fun with it. We saw at the end there some faces of previous people they've met, as well as themselves, like Cheeto had the face with the statue eyes, so that was pretty great. And they could pretty much stay there for a while since they have food. The story would be a little bit boring if they stayed in one location, but they could do it. So yeah, let's get into the next episode. Let us begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Well, you opened it. She grabs it. The first thing she does is hit it. I think it's a radio of some sort. Like most things in this world. It's a good question. I'm not sure what to make of that. Yeah, I really can't make out too much from that intro about what this episode is going to be about. I do want to see them actually dance in the series. We had them do some music playing in one episode, sort of, with the rain. Memories. Who's that's referring to? Hopefully Cheeto and Yuri's. I'd love to get some more backstory on them. What they were doing before they started traveling like this. Were they like lockers? Because those are really tall. If you could get it to work. But yeah, it's clearly a radio. You can even see the antenna folded. Now that there's a whole lot of people to communicate with. It's so weird those would just be like that. Like not in a building or anything. That's not safe. All that for a button. Not worth it. And what can you make with that? Like what exactly? I want them to run into a very specific situation that actually requires those items to get through. To patch up a hole in your clothes? I don't know. But apparently it works to a degree. I think I heard something. Snow? Is it gonna snow again? I series started out with snow. I've been kind of missing it. Oh wow, back to the statues. Because we clearly do not have enough pictures of these already. Yeah, which episode was that anyway? Yeah, of course she likes the phallic shape. Yeah. Oh wow. That's savage. He's one of the two people you've met in this show. uh, he's one of the only two people you've met in this show. You sure almost did. He could be. Yeah, like lockers, like I said. It's just weird that they're outside like that. Kind of a dark way to think about it. Well, not everyone. Like I said, we saw two people in the show besides you guys. At least I got this guy. So people won't get lonely. So the lockers have a protector, a watchdog, a guardian, a god. So let's take off our gloves. That's a perfect solution to this problem. That's a really cool animation effect, though. The items. Yeah, finders keepers and all that. I'm sure the items themselves, if they were sentient, would be happy to go to somebody that would actually use them, than sit there forever. Oh, Gia! That was too close for comfort. You're not the only one. Like, if that hit a spot a little bit differently, the series would have kind of ended. Like an evil map maker that's angry that you forgot him. I'm sure you do. Not exactly great with heights. They did almost fall. It's a spiral. It's going to take a long time to get up there. If you had a star compass, you'd know which way was up. Because that sound effect, for a second I thought she, pushed her off. Considering nobody's actually died or anything in this show so far, I'm surprisingly nervous that something bad's gonna happen. Oh, she's getting dizzy. Oh no. Might want to stop for a while. Yeah, if there wasn't enough reason to stop, that's a good one too. That's a problem. Do you have another makeshift bridge in you? It's a long way down, so clearly you have been going up. That's your confirmation right there. Is that big enough for the vehicle? Apparently. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. Can I really support that much weight? Uh... poor Cheeto. Man. Well, they're not going back the way they came. But luckily they made it. It definitely can't be followed, at least. Not that that was much of a concern to begin with, but still. We're alive. After Cheeto has a heart attack. Yeah. Gotten some perspective there. At least that path's not breaking on you. Good old flat path. That is true. That's the daily life of most humans. The top, of course. Unless it's a spiral downwards in some people's cases. So yeah, essentially they're now a level higher. Well, if you kept that button, I'm sure it would have come in handy. Poor Cheeto. It's because she has to deal with you. And it's a post-apocalyptic world, so I'm sure a lot of people are perpetually in bad moods. Not exactly a stick. Are you going chuny on me? Ominous music and footprints. And we finally caught up to them, okay. Man, that cameraman was really huffing it. Like most other things, really. Did I just see a phone charging? There's only a few frames. Oh. Oh, you messed up now. Cheeto, it's time for you to find your own stick. Or that. A powerful glump. Or she could just take her stick. Or at the very least stop banging random crap with it. Alcohol? They're probably underage, but not like there's anyone to complain. That's not empty. That's more than enough for 2 people. Only one way to find it, chug the entire bottle. Beer? Yeah, beer. That's how you pronounce beer in Japanese. This should be fun. Kampai. It's all bubbly, 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 bubbly. So yeah, they've clearly never had alcohol before. Chug, chug. And that's the conclusion. Oh wow, her cheeks lit up pretty quickly, like one sip. And they're drunk. And another. And another. A few bottles of alcohol later. Yeah, she looks like she's gonna be a fun drunk. Wanting to cuddle with Yuri in the snow. You're mine now. You were complaining about her being in a bad mood earlier. Alcohol can definitely fix that, if only temporarily. She is not letting that go. Oh, we are getting some dancing, kind of. Don't fall off the edge. That'd be pretty bad. Yeah, you were really close to the edge. I wouldn't do that. That's the most fun Cheeto's had since the show began. Animation. Let's do this every night. Man, she must be drunk if she wants to go high. Only one way to find out. And is she chewing on her hair? I somehow doubt that. Thought the episode was about to end there. Yeah, welcome to the lovely, lovely little hangover. So, that was the 8th episode of Shoujo Shuumatsu Ryokou. And in this episode, we discovered that there's apparently some very tall outdoor lockers, like a lot of them in a row, that were being protected by a giant, statue, which is interesting. And they found some less than valuable materials in them, which they put back in the end anyway, preserving the memories and all that. But the bulk of the episode, I think, was them going up the spiral tower to get to the next level, which it wasn't that difficult for the most part, aside from some dizziness and feeling like you're not making a whole lot of progress because of the nature of the spiral and everything. What it got difficult, well, the only difficult part initially was just Cheeto getting dizzy, which admittedly was a bit of a problem. You don't want to be dizzy at the wheel next to an edge. But they ran into a snag where they just couldn't go forward anymore. They had to go out of the tower and back through. The problem was that it could not support the weight of their vehicle. So they cut it very close. They almost took a tumble there. And Cheeto's not good with heights in general, so that couldn't have been pleasant at all. But they got to that part and just went back up the spiral like usual. And they got up there. Yuri found a stick, unfortunately, which, unfortunately for Cheeto, she got a nice little bonk on the head. Good thing they're wearing those helmets. It's like some people might question whether those helmets are necessary. They are definitely necessary. The real highlight of the episode, though, was when they discovered some bottles of alcohol, or beer specifically. And, well, Yuri also discovered the power of moonlight, apparently, which gives her a bit of a caffeine effect, it seems. Just hitting everything and everywhere. But the girls got drunk together and danced near the edge in the snow, which is a good idea, apparently. And just had a lot of fun. Probably the most fun they've had in a while, really. Nothing helps you get to a post-apocalyptic world than alcohol, I would imagine. So, yeah. And so, of course, it was a little bit savage of Yuri just to kind of forget the guy that gave them the camera she was using. So, let me know what you thought of the anime. Which side of my reaction in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.